If you want to take the square root of a number, the first thing you want to do is break that number down using a factor tree. So let's start off with 300. We're going to come over and make a factor tree for 300. Thinking of two numbers that multiply together to get 300, we might use 30 times 10. And then that 30, we might use 3 times 10. The 10 here, that we could turn into 2 times 5. And then this 10 is another 2 times 5. The number 3, 2, and 5, those are prime numbers. So they're just going to come down. So bringing down 3, 2, and 5. We've broken 300 into a product of primes. So what we're going to do next is we're going to write, instead of 300, 2 times 2 times 3 times 5 times 5. All right, now, once we have that broken apart, we're looking for two of a kind and we can take one out. So notice I have a pair of 2s, so I'm going to get to take a 2 out. And then I have a pair of 5s, so I'm going to be able to take out a 5. The number 3 isn't paired up with anything, so it's still trapped underneath. But here's the 2 that came out and the 5 that came out. And then 2 times 5 is 10. So we end up with 10 square root of 3. So two of a kind, you take a single number out. So here's just a couple more examples. So with 50, first thing I'm going to do is come off to the side and make myself a factor tree for 50. I might want to use 5 times 10, and then that number 10 is 2 times 5. This 5 is prime, so I'm going to bring that down. The number 50 is going to now turn into 2 times 5 times 5. We're looking for two of a kind to take a number out. So I have a pair of 5s, so I can take a 5 out front. The 2 is still trapped inside, and that 5 came out, and so our simplified version is 5 root 2. Now, if there happens to be a number that's already out front, that's fine. We're still going to do a factor tree for the number underneath the root. Vocabulary for the number under a root is called a radicand. So I'm going to take the radicand 8. I'm going to break that down. I might want to go with 2 times 4. That 4 is 2 times 2. Then bring down the 2. So let's go in and replace the 8 with 2 times 2 times 2. We're looking for two of a kind to take something out. I have a pair of 2s. So I'm going to take the 2 out front. And then what do we have left over? Well, that 2 is trapped inside. And if there's a number already out front, it's just sitting there. So there's 7, a pair of 2s, so a single 2 comes out with the 7 that's already there. And so then my final answer for this one would be 14 square root of 2. So if there's a number already sitting out front, anything that comes out front with it, just multiply them together.